guys. How do you think that you would feel if there was a person in your life that was, I guess, always very accusatory towards you, kind of made you feel like you always had to defend yourself, kind of backed into a corner, and you walked away from most interactions with that person feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that, and that is not who I am. I just feel really ugly right now. This is awful. I just got an email from a young lady named Abby, and I'm super proud of her for the email because a lot of times when we are in a position that Abby is in, and I'll explain that in a second, it's really easy to put your head in the sand and pretend that this is really not a problem. And I'm just really proud of her because she's young. She's been dating a guy, we'll call him Zach, for a couple of years. And the way that she's explaining the relationship is Zach is very accusatory towards her. So if she maybe does something, he will flip it around where he has assigned motive to her that is inaccurate. He is attacking to her character. She always feels like she has to defend herself against things that are just absolutely not even true. And she's like, why don't you just ask me? Like, why don't you just ask me why I did whatever I did and just listen to the answer instead of just come out guns a-blazing attacking me? It also sounds like she is not free to talk with him about how she feels about things. She definitely doesn't share her goals for the future. He doesn't even know that she wants to go to college to be an attorney. And I was like, wow, she's keeping that to herself because she's going to have to go off to law school and she's afraid of how this is going to, affect her relationship with him. And, it's just really muddy. Sounds like that he is kind of vacillates between pouting, I guess silent treatment, and then the anger and the rage, and then he comes out and he accuses her of things, of just weird stuff, and she's just like, what are you talking about? Like, So she is wondering what she needs to do to fix this relationship. Well, I hate to tell you this, but probably nothing on your side, because what Zach is doing is he's controlling you. And the only way that this relationship is going to get better is by Zach doing his part. It sounds like you're the one that's carrying 90% of the emotional load of this relationship, and you're busy trying to make everything okay with Zach, all the while kind of dying inside, which isn't healthy, of course. I mean, but we don't realize that that's what's happening at the time, So for me to point that out to you, Abby, is probably a little bit like, wow, whoa, I mean, yeah, that is what's happening, but I wasn't able to see that myself. Been there. I totally get it. I had a person in my life that was like that. It was very horrible. And I walked around feeling like I was crazy. And it really was the other person. And it took me a long time to figure that out. And one of my friends actually said to me, she just said, Teresa, it is not responsible for you to continue to be in a relationship where you are always backed into a corner and then it causes you to be ugly. She said, you need to remove yourself, because this is kind of a game. And if you just step out of the game, then it's game over, right? And so that's the advice that I have for you, Abby, is that this isn't going to change. It's only going to get worse. Zach is going to continue to do this as long as you let him. And if you, God forbid, have kids with him, then he's going to use the kids against you. And it just gets all sorts of more ugly and muddy and nasty. And it doesn't really matter why he does what he does. I mean, he could have a mental illness going on, an addiction, his perception of women is messed up. But my question is, does it matter? Does it matter why he does what he does? The fact that it is destructive to you, it is the point, okay? So what you need to do is either, I mean, it sounds like you've already sat down with him and said, listen, you need to stop. You need to listen to me and ask me questions instead of just coming at me, like claws out. It sounds like you've already done that, and you've tried to communicate that with him in a very clear way, and he's just doesn't care or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not your job to make him understand. It is his job to figure it out if he wants to have you. It is his job to do the hard work that it's going to take for him to be mentally healthy and to change his perspective of women if that's what's going on. It's not your job. So remove yourself from the environment. Tell him, listen, this relationship is so destructive to me. I feel ugly. I feel awful. I don't like this. It's yuck. I don't want you to text me, call me. I want you to take your things. I don't want any contact with you. This needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. Now, if this guy is kind of scary, then you might want to have friends around. So usually when someone else is around, they behave better. If you can have the discussion in a public place, that would be, great. If he has stuff at your place, though, maybe set up something where he can either pick it up from a friend so he doesn't have to come to your place. I don't know. But really, this is not going to get better. You have said in your email that you feel terrible around this guy. You feel awful when you know you're going to have to interact with him. When a text message goes off and you know it's from him, your stomach starts to hurt. I mean, you're telling me all these signs that this relationship needs to end like a long time ago. So, my encouragement to you is to just do it because you have to, not because you feel like it. Do it because it's the right thing to do. You will thank me later. Someday you will look back and go, whew, thank you, Jesus, that I didn't marry that guy. Because I'm just telling you, I have been in a relationship like that before, and it was unbelievably destructive, so painful. And it took me a while to figure out that no matter what I did, it wasn't going to change. So I am speaking from experience, girl. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I tell you comes from, my clients, but a lot of it comes from me too, and my own mistakes, my own failures. I'm first one to admit that, and that's why I'm trying to help you so that you don't turn into people that have had to deal with the yuck that I've had to deal with, and my friends and my clients. Okay, so I get the impression that you're quite young, and if you can fix this, get out of this now, so that you are not further broken. Then you are much more able to be in a healthy relationship without sabotaging it somehow just because of the hurt you got going on. Oh my gosh, you'll be like millions of miles ahead, okay? So please let me know how it goes. Send me an email. Keep me in the loop. I really want to know. I hope that helps. If you are watching this video and you're kind of in a similar situation, please take my advice. Please take my advice. I promise you that you will thank me someday. Never has a person been grateful to have stayed in an abusive relationship, and Zach is an emotionally abusive person, and I know that's kind of fuzzy, but what he's got going on and how he treats her, sucky, no way. So anyway, I just love you all. Let me know how it goes, Abby. I'll talk to you later. Bye.